the Holy Spirit has made it clear to me that in town after town, prison and persecution await me. So says Paul, not fazed by it at all. It's the price you pay for the good news. And he's giving it free. And people want to bash him up. Sounds familiar, happens today. Just reading volume 2 now of Cardinal Pell's Prison Journal. The first instalment in it is about the slide towards paganism. Someone wrote a book, Slouching Towards Gomorrah. It was his analysis of what was happening in the United States, written about 20 years ago. I like that phrase, slouching towards Gomorrah, for goodness sake. But we have to expect suffering. Well, Queen Elizabeth said, grief is the price you pay for love. If we love the truth, we're going to suffer for it. And the teaching is a sacred teaching. This is what Jesus says, you know. I have given them the teaching you gave to me. Wow. It's not just a flurry of words, but a teaching. Teaching. A sacred teaching. How do we do it these days? Climate is very hostile. I can't believe the number of people that now accept voluntary assisted dying, as they call it. I remember keeping a cutting from the newspaper back in the 70s when the Exit Society was established. People that wanted the right to be able to choose when they were going to leave this world and on what terms they were going to leave it. Philip Nitschke was part of that. You're still around. Why do these people, why does God allow these people to create so much problem? I mean, I don't want to go to a healthcare worker who's just helped someone to die. I think it's terrible. I mean, if someone wants suicide, I'm sorry, but to drag other people into it, I think is really not the way forward. That's just one example of the kind of hostile thing which is clearly contrary to the gospel. There's no way there can be any parley between the gospel and that movement, or that is gaining momentum in the world. Well, Paul discovered that he couldn't teach. The synagogue was the place to teach. That was in that culture, that was where you went to teach and discuss and learn. But he was driven out of the synagogues by hardcore Jews that thought that he was a heretic because he preached about this resurrection person called Jesus. So what did he do? Well, he had to go and find a new way of getting the word out there, getting the truth out there. So he went to a Greek academy in Ephesus, run by a Greek called Tyrant. But anyway, not a nice name, but anyway. Tyrannus was an open-minded Greek who was a searcher for the truth. And he had an academy where people like to come and talk about ideas. So I think that academy went on for a long time, 10 years or more, the Academy of Tyrannus. You know, maybe we have to give up hoping that we'll get the truth out there through the institutions that we have or that we've tried to use for the last, I don't know how many generations, and we have to look for new ways and new structures and new places to teach. I've taught you in your homes, he says, and in the public square, anywhere, but obviously the word has to go out because it comes from God and it's a sacred teaching that gives life.